At the beginning of this match, I look to see what kind of targets I will be engaging. As a top tier ship, I need to be aggressive and use my weapons and health to help carry our team to victory. Cruisers are fast, often nearly as quick as destroyers. They are more heavily armored, carry more weapons, and have more health as well. They are not as maneuverable as destroyers, nor as heavily armored as battleships. The cruiser featured in the beginning of this video is the St. Louis. This American cruiser carries a large array of artillery, as well as powerful secondary batteries for close-range defense. The St. Louis's gun reach and high rate of fire, as well as overwhelming firepower, allows it to overwhelm any ship that it can focus fire on. I turn and begin sailing north, scanning the eastern horizon for targets. I spot an enemy cruiser, take aim, and fire a salvo of armor-piercing shells. Watching the first shots allow me to see the high arc the shells take to their target. Utilizing this knowledge, I fire at the enemy ship, knowing that the shells will clear the island obstruction. This enemy cruiser is taking relentless damage from all directions. It's only a matter of time before it gets worn down and sunk. I begin to take fire from the oncoming enemy ships. As I bring my guns to fire on the new threats, I use the island to shield myself from flanking fire. At this range, the armor-piercing bullets easily penetrate the enemy ship, nearly sinking him instantly. 8 seconds later, the guns reload and once again ring out. Smaller explosions can be heard as the secondary batteries open fire. Firing repeatedly, the enemy ship can be seen sailing past his still sinking comrade.
Enemy heavily damaged.
He manages to escape around the edge of the island, although he has little real hope for long-term survival. I miss a few salvos before finally firing over the island and connecting on the upper deck of the enemy cruiser. He is no longer within range, so I turn to close the distance.
Bullseye.
This game now ends and leads us into our next battle, including the Japanese cruiser, the Tatsuta. The Tatsuta follows the Japanese cruiser philosophy of carrying both artillery guns and torpedoes. Although it has fewer guns than its American counterpart, its torpedoes allow for a different gameplay and just as much power. Utilizing the speed and mobility of the cruiser, I head north, attempting to avoid the large areas of open water. Cruisers can be quite effective destroyer killers, as long as safety can be maintained. I fire a salvo at a long-distance destroyer and somehow manage to hit one of the shots. I see an enemy destroyer closing in, so I aim and fire torpedoes, hopefully reducing his options to evade. Knowing he will be much more easy to hit while committed to turning, I plant a huge salvo of armor-piercing shells into his lightly armored ship. He continues to turn away, causing all of my torpedoes to miss. However, my artillery shell that comes next does not.
Enemy destroyer sunk!
I continue to turn the ship, hoping to avoid the increasing amounts of incoming fire. I continue to turn and fire shells into the oncoming ships to hope to reset the cap as well.
Our team has taken the lead.
I turn and head for the enemy cruiser, knowing that he has no torpedoes. I overshoot and am unable to fire until he overcorrects to prevent sailing into the island. I pounce on his mistake and my torpedoes sail true.
The enemy team has taken the lead. We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Immediately turning my attention to the next targets, I hear the incoming torpedoes before I see them. Japanese maneuverability saves the day here, as I am able to weave between the incoming torpedoes. I return fire on the enemy cruiser while still attempting to reduce the incoming fire that I have from several enemy targets at once. Thanks for watching, and if you liked what you saw, please click subscribe below.